Are you diving into TypeScript and finding yourself frustrated with type assertions? You're not alone. Today, we're going to explore how to handle type assertions in parameters effectively. I totally get it. Type assertions can feel like a hassle, especially when you have to create extra variables just to satisfy the compiler. It can be annoying, right? You're definitely not the only one facing this issue. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked about casting an event target to an HTML anchor element. They want to know if there's a way to do this without creating unnecessary variables in their functions. Sound familiar? Let's find a solution together. So why is this happening? TypeScript requires type assertions to ensure type safety, but it can lead to extra code clutter. We'll break down the issue and explore some cleaner alternatives. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a neat trick that can simplify your TypeScript code and make it more efficient. To address the user's concern about type assertions in TypeScript parameters, we can simplify the process by using a type guard. This allows us to check the type of the event target without creating unnecessary variables. Next, the user can define a type guard function. This function will help determine if the event target is indeed an HTML anchor element. This way, we can avoid casting directly in the parameter. Now the user can use this type guard in their function. By checking the type of the event target, they can safely access the properties of HTML anchor element without additional variable declarations. Finally, this approach not only keeps the code clean, but also ensures that the TypeScript compiler understands the types correctly, preventing unnecessary errors. Fun fact: did you know that TypeScript was developed by Microsoft to help developers catch errors early? It's like having a safety net while coding. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by a user is to use type guards for type assertions in TypeScript. They propose creating a function called isAnchor that checks if the event target is an HTML anchor element by verifying if the hash property is defined. In the getTabID function, they utilize this type guard to determine if the event target is an anchor. If it is, they access the hash property directly. Otherwise, they fall back to using dataset.tabed. The user also notes that you can create a type guard for the dataset interface if needed. For more information on type guards, they recommend checking the TypeScript handbook. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests modifying the type assertion in the parameter directly. They recommend adding parentheses around the type assertion when checking if the event target has a hash property. This way, you can avoid creating extra variables just for type assertions. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. One alternative approach is to use inline type assertions by surrounding the assertion with parentheses. For example, you can check if the hash property exists by writing if parentheses around the type assertion. Additionally, you can avoid type assertions altogether by changing the parameter type to HTML anchor element directly. This way, you can access the hash property without any casting. Lastly, be mindful of the casing in your variable names to avoid confusion. Here's the trick I promised. Always try to keep your type assertions as close to the usage as possible. This will help you maintain cleaner code and avoid unnecessary variables. And there you have it. You now have a better understanding of handling type assertions in TypeScript parameters. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more coding tips and tricks.